Think about the first ever book you can remember. Think about how you felt when you got it, how it made you feel when you held it in your hand, or even as you read it. Seeing a child's face when you place a book in their hands for the first time, or for them to be able to listen to someone read it out loud to them, it's a great sight to behold. Books are the best way for young children to learn. For young children, there are picture books. For older children, there are books with less pictures and more words that show the images. Picture books come in all forms, some without words, some with words, and these books help children to see the world in a new light all around them, maybe even worlds that are created by the author themselves. The very first picture book was called Orbis Centillium Pictures by Jonah Osmos Cosmos in 1659. It was all about animals. Today, technology has evolved. Ebooks have become the big thing now. They have different ways of interacting using highlighting and different things that use dictionaries and things like that to help them to better understand the book. Today, I will be talking about traditional books and ebooks and the positives and negatives effect of not only kids, but the places that we get books from. Let's begin about talking about traditional books. Traditional books are something you can hold in your hand. You can turn the pages as you read them. Traditional books, you have to put in effort to understand the book. Maybe if you don't understand a word, you have to look it up. Maybe if there's something you want to remember out of the book, you got to write it down. Next, we'll talk about electronic books. Electronic books, these books can find online. They have books where the person is talking to you. There are books where the images come alive. They may be telling you the story in the background, and you see like the bunny hop across the screen, or you see the trees shake as the wind blows, or something like that. Also, as you get older, being able to read, you can highlight things, take notes inside of the book. They also give inside dictionaries, so you just press the word and it shows you what it means. Some impacts. Traditional books have positive impacts on children. When you put a book in a child's hand and watch how they react to the book, it's awesome to watch. The article called Book Ownership and Young Children's Learning, we see many different times where the author mentions about kids' reactions to the books that they are given. The children get excited about receiving the book. There was a lady called Miss O'Donnell. She decided to go and give children who didn't really have books all the time in their households, she was able to give them a book. And the way they reacted to having the book, they loved to hold it, they loved to hug it. It was more of a comfort to them. There was also a study done by Claudia Vicker. She asked fourth graders, 94 of them, fourth graders, how they felt about a traditional book. Some of them said they loved to hug it. It was personal to them. Some said that they just liked how a real book felt when they hold it. Some said trying to stick to reading an online book is harder than trying to stick to reading to a real book. So there were also some negative impacts with there were some negative impacts when it comes to negative and positive impacts when it comes to ebooks. Some of the children said that reading an ebook, they don't always stay focused on the book. They have a tendency to jump over to something else that could be on the computer or on the tablet. Somebody said, well, I try to stick to my reading, but then I start wondering if there's a good show I can watch on Netflix, or maybe I can beat my highest score on one of my games, or I get a text that pops up. These are just things that come into the way of them trying to read and to understand what they're reading. Also, some negative impacts that I saw through Claudia Vickers' survey. Some of the children said boys and girls admit that their parents limit their time on their tablets, but when they started reading on their tablets, they were given more time. but then that also gave them more time to do other things besides reading. One of the main complaints students said about the electronic books was the rise in the text to find evidence for an answer during a teacher leading group. You swipe back and forth, but sometimes the pages go too fast and you lose where you're going. That was also another complaint of another student that you tap on the screen, it can be too sensitive, it may move more than one page at a time if you're just trying to go with one page ahead. So today I told you about the impact of ebooks and traditional books on children. Now it's your turn to decide which one would you prefer for your children to read in the future. Would you rather have them read an ebook where they're constantly being able to be distracted and things are constantly coming into their way? Or would you rather have them sit down and hold a book and be able to turn the pages and look at the great pictures and try to understand what they're learning with their own mind rather than using an electronic to figure it out? It's all up to you.